You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells, and this radio broadcast has attracted what I consider to be the best collection of sponsors ever in American broadcasting. We have our neighbors joining us on this broadcast, and I can't tell you how fortunate I feel when people join this show for the reasons that Kevin Hames has joined this show. Ideal Floors is his business. Kevin, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
No, glad to be here. I'm glad you invited me.
It was a pleasure to meet you the other day. We went out to the store and I walked into your showroom, and I've been telling people that I found my bathroom.
Okay.
You know, I've been trying. I've been working
awesome.
I've been working on trying to get a hold of a double shower. As soon as I can get Susan to commit to sharing a sink with me.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Really?
But you guys have great stuff in your showrooms. You got 6 of them around town, right?
Yeah.
So Ideal Floors, 6 showrooms, and you've been family owned and operated for 26 years.
Yes.
We went through your story.
Yes.
And let me tell you, building to Ideal Floors has been an amazing journey for you.
Oh yeah, you're so right. It really has been. It's been, from the very beginning when we started in the flooring company by actually getting used carpet out of dumpsters 26 years ago, and that's how we started. And then we developed into getting into new carpet, and then after that, buying off goods, which are seconds, promotional goods, drops, and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's really what our specialty is. And in 90, we became which was a Big Bob's in 1991 or 92, and
that was a flooring company from up north, was it not?
Yeah, they're a nationwide franchise.
Right, okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we were with them for 20 years. And during that time, we opened up 4 other locations. So we had 5 locations. And then our 6th location, which is in Granbury, we just opened up this last December.
That was awesome. It's absolutely super. And you are obviously 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Are people nervous about the fact that the stock may not necessarily be as expensive as it normally is? I mean, you're talking about drops and promotional goods and so on and so forth. This is still great stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. It's still it's all stuff that is constructionally solid. I mean, there's not a problem with that. It's just like a lot of times a manufacturer may have a product they want to get drop because they're going to bring in a new product, so they want to liquidate it. Or they do a promotional, which is a experimental run on carpet to see how people, whether they like it or not. So then if they decide not to produce it, they'll, sell that off. And then bankruptcy and, a lot of times they're overstocked, so they'll sell carpet because they're overstocked. I mean, it's a lot of different reasons. But the one reason nobody has to be concerned about it is because one of our guarantees warranties is that we warranty all of our products over and above the manufacturer warranty. So if there's a problem with the product and we call the manufacturer out on it and we feel it should be handled or replaced and they don't, we'll replace it.
Yeah.
So that's why whether it's a drop, promotional, off goods, or whatever it is, you don't have to worry about it because we stand behind everything that we sell.
Yeah, because you have been doing this in DFW for 26 years. You're one of our neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
And you take care of your neighbors.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible. Okay, so if people want to find out more about you, would they give you a buzz at 855-IDEAL-USA, 855-IDEAL-USA, and Shop at Home vans show up?
Yes.
And it's great stuff, and they bring samples and et cetera, huh?
Right. They can either come into one of our 6 showrooms, or they can call us up and ask for a free estimate. Then we'll take one of our vans out there, and pretty much our vans have samples of the vast majority of the stuff we have in stock. It definitely has samples of all of our most popular products.
That's awesome.
So we can just come straight out to their home, measure, they can pick out the product, and never have to leave their home.
I saw some of that hand-scraped wood, that big, broad plank hand-scraped wood. Gosh, that's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Absolutely love that.
And you guys do that scraping all by yourself. I mean, you do that yourself and finish it. And there's one of the things that I talk about is that you have solid unfinished wood that can be finished and stained on site per the specifications of the person who's laying it down. I mean, per the owner.
Oh, yeah, because what we do is we go in and we install solid unfinished wood.
Right.
And then after we have it installed, they can either hand scrape it or they can finish it as a smooth finish. If they hand scrape it, they can tell us how much of a hand scrape they want.
Right.
If they want it real noticeable or slightly noticeable, we can do it that way. And then what we'll do is find out what kind of stain that they want, and we'll normally put 3 samples of stains on the wood that we think they might like, and they can pick out whichever one they want. If they say, well, I really like this one, but I really want in between these two, then we can show them a different sample.
Yeah.
But generally, once we do 3 samples, they usually find the one that they want. So the thing that's nice about it is, with the solid unfinished floor, once we put it in the house and finish it, it truly is a custom floor that's never going to be the same in any other house in the world.
I was just thinking, with this custom finish and so on, you could probably go in and match somebody's hand scraped floor from years and years ago and be able to actually put a finish out there that would match it beautifully. I would imagine that would be something you could do.
We could do. Generally, we don't. A lot of what we do is somebody has a smooth finish floor in their home. We can come in and tie into that smooth finish floor.
I see.
And then what's best is if we sand their existing down and then stain it all the same throughout their house.
Very cool. And you can do all that stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about something else. That this isn't just about a really good flooring company that will come to your house and really help you renovate your place.
Well, and one thing just before we leave this, I just want everybody to know is that I give 100% satisfaction guarantee on every install that we do. And any customer who wants my cell phone number, they can have my cell phone number. Just for insurance that, hey, if we're not being taken care of, you can call me.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and that's something that you were very serious about that when we talked.
Oh, yeah.
You said, hey, you know what? We want to make this right. We want these customers around forever.
Right. Because to me, the question is, if the owner is afraid to give out his cell phone number, why? Why is he afraid? Yeah. I'm not afraid. So, if people aren't happy, we want to take care of them.
We're speaking with Kevin Hames. He's the owner of Ideal Floors. He's a new sponsor on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. And what we do is we make sure that you know who our sponsors are, because these sponsors make this show possible. And it's important that if you love this broadcast, that you spend some time with our sponsors. And if you do have a flooring need, this is the place to go. These are fantastic people. I've met them myself. I've gone to their showrooms, and they know exactly what they're doing. If you want natural stone, ceramic tile, porcelain, carpet, laminate, hardwoods, solid unfinished wood like we were talking about that can be finished and stained on site, these are the people to call. They've been in business for 26 years. But let's get to the story behind the story. Okay. All right, you have a calling here. I mean, you put your money where your mouth is when it comes to this calling. You say it right here in your copy, and I read it. When I read this copy, I say this: that Ideal Floors wants to be more than just a company that sells and installs flooring. They want to be a tool used by God to dramatically impact people's lives. That's a big statement. Where did that come from?
Well, I mean, I've been a believer for a long time. And what really about 6 years ago, we used to be a company that we ran business fair. What we did, what we thought was fair. And then what happened is I just asked the question, if Christ was running this company, how would he do it? How would he relate to employees? What would he do? And one of the questions that came up was, or that I felt was answered, is if people aren't happy, let's say people aren't happy with their work or whatever, and they went to Christ and said, what are you going to do about it? He's just going to say, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
And I really believe that our company is God's company, and we're just here to manage it. That's how come, on earth, I'm the owner. My wife and I are the owner, but the true owner is God. And if you look at my business card says I'm an asset manager. I'm not the owner. I'm an asset manager, because I truly believe this is the Lord's company. So we really believe that the reason the Lord gave us this company and it has grown it the way it has, I mean, it's grown into a pretty large company, that we really strive to operate on biblical principles and do everything that we believe that Christ would want us to do. We're not perfect. We're human. We make mistakes, but the thing I can guarantee is we'll take care of you.
Sure.
But in the past, we used to give away free carpet to needy people. And we would do probably 4 or 5 houses a year, something like that. But then last year, at the beginning of 2012, I was in a really felt very, very close to God at that time and had a really strong relationship. And I felt God was saying, okay, Kevin, you need to give. You need to give more. And then I was like, okay, Lord, I understand. I should probably give him more flooring away and blah, blah, blah. And then actually what he said was, no, you need to give more of yourself to your employees, to your family. That's what you need to give to. So I go, okay, I can dig that. No problem. I agree with that. But then it kept going on. And then my wife and I were going to Galveston and going on a cruise. In the morning, we got ready for the cruise. I went out to breakfast, and I was journaling my relationship with God. And I knew God wanted to tell me more about giving. So I just started journaling, and just clear as if he spoke to me, a thought came into my mind, because I thought, yeah, Lord, I know we need to give away more homes, and as clear as possible, it came into my mind, you need to give away 10 houses a month. And from a human standpoint, you would probably freak out, like, how are we going to afford to do that? But from a believer standpoint, actually, I was extremely excited because God does not tell you to do something when he's not going to provide. So I was excited about how our business was going to prosper because it's going to have to prosper to be able to do this. Right. So I was excited from that standpoint. It was like, oh, awesome. We want to give away more and more homes. And actually over the last year and a half, we've trying to get the word out by word of mouth and through connections that we have, but we haven't had the response of really qualified people that we really need the flooring. And because we're looking for people who are in dire need of flooring. Their flooring's worn out and that they don't have any place to way to afford it now or even in the future. Like we've done a family where the lady was actually dying from cancer. Aww. And she wanted vinyl on her entire house. So we put vinyl on her entire house and actually 6 months later she passed on and her husband came back and just told us how much that meant to her to be able to be in a house that she loved for the rest of her life. We do a lot of elderly people who are on fixed incomes, single moms that are on fixed incomes, trying, working, several jobs, trying to make ends meet where they never be able to afford flooring. And the only qualification is it has to be in dire need and they can't be able to afford it now or in the future, but they have to own their home, be current on the payment because we're not going to put this in a rental property for somebody.
Of course not. No.
And they have to be current on their mortgage payments.
Sure.
So what we do is they can go online at idealfloors.com and they can fill out an application and the application comes straight to me and I look at it. If I think it's a viable application, I'll give it to one of my sales staff. They'll contact the person to go out, interview them, look at the situation and see if they could be a candidate or not. And the one thing which is discouraging to me, and I really don't want it to be discouraging to others, is the fact that we're getting more qualified candidates now than we can really take care of. Our goal is to do 10 houses a month, and we're probably going to, the way it started out here since we've been on 660 and on 100.7, we're getting averaging about 1.5 leads a day, applications a day. So we're going to get probably 45 applications a month, and most of them are going to be good quality people. But, so be patient if we don't get to yours right away. We're really trying to focus on the most neediest people. So,
Kevin, that touched me when you told me that story when I met with you a while back, and I just want to thank you very much for being a part of this broadcast. I mean, it's bigger than just a business. It's bigger than just. I mean, that's what the Wells Report's all about. If I can borrow some of what you've put out there, we work for our neighbors because they need us, and you're walking that walk too. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, I just real quick. I didn't know we got to go, but I mean, the purpose if we get blessed here on earth, the reason is God wants us to